name is Jessica Avery, and I am the programs coordinator here at the Fort Bend Museum. And today I am sitting in the entryway of the John and Lottie Moore home. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Congressman Moore and his life and his influence in Fort Bend County, but he wasn't the only influential individual in the Moore family. So we're also going to talk about those that came before him and those that came after. So let's get started. Lottie Dyer was the daughter of Sarah Barnett and James Foster Dyer. Now, James Foster Dyer was a prominent stock raiser and landowner here in Fort Bend County. Lottie was a member of one of Texas' true pioneer families, and she was descended from not one, but four Old 300 families. Of course, the Old 300 were the original settlers that came with Stephen F. Austin to Texas. So those families were the Barnetts, the Spencers, the Dyers, and the Staffords. And of course, Stafford, Texas is named after the Stafford family today. So Lottie's maternal grandfather, Thomas Barnett, was actually a member of the Texas Congress and one of the signers of the Texas Declaration of Independence. Soon after their marriage, their story takes a little bit of a sad turn. So Lottie's father, James, had passed away right before they got married, and Lottie's mother, Sarah, passed away right after they got married. So as newlyweds, they had an inheritance, which was 12,000 acres and 7,000 head of cattle. Now, Lottie didn't want to live out on the ranch anymore. She wanted to live in town here in Richmond. So they started construction on the Moore home, which we are in today. Construction started in 1883 and was completed in 1884. Now, John and Lottie also went on to have 6 children. Sadly, their firstborn son, Maxwell, passed away as an infant, but then they had Raymond, Ivy, James Foster Dyer, John Jr., and the youngest child was Etta May Moore. So John was extremely good at managing his land holdings, and he grew that initial 12,000 acres to over 60,000 acres to make him one of the largest landholders here in Fort Bend County. He was also one of the first ranchers to use barbed wire to fence in his land. He saw this demonstration in San Antonio, Texas, of this revolutionary new ranching equipment, and he was impressed. He was also very involved in the Texas Cattlemen's Association, so the family split a lot of their time here in Richmond, but also in San Antonio because of that. Now later, John also got involved in politics, first at the local level, and then in 1896 he got elected to the Texas State Legislature, where he served 1 term, and then in 1905, John was elected to the United States Congress, representing the 8th District, which was Fort Bend and the surrounding counties. Now, so from 1905 to 1913, the Moore family and the children spent much of their time in Washington, D.C. They spent part of the year in Richmond and part of the year there, and whenever they were in Washington, they got to stay in all the nice hotels. So the children even had an opportunity to go to school there, as well as attend parties and functions at the White House. So the children all got to go to the White House, and they got to meet the President of the United States. So when John first got into office, that was President Roosevelt, and when he was leaving office, that was President Taft. Now, during his time in Washington, John served on the Immigration and Naturalization Committee. He worked to secure federal funding and aid for Texas waterways, and this included also the first appropriations for the Houston Ship Channel. Now, in 1913, after 4 terms in Congress, John Moore Sr. chose not to seek re-election. He retired from political life because he wanted to spend more time here at home with his family and also focus on his ranching operations. However, the Moore family's role in politics did not end with Congressman Moore. So the next person we're going to talk about is John and Lottie's youngest son and the namesake, John Moore Jr. Now, John Jr. grew up right here in Richmond, Texas, and he married Dorothea Gunther of San Antonio, Texas. Her grandfather had started the Pioneer Flour Company, which is still in operation today. Together, they had 2 sons, John Moore III and Hilmer. Now, John Jr. shared his father's passion for politics and for ranching. He served as Fort Bend County Judge from 1933 to 1936 1936, and in 1937 he was elected the mayor of Richmond, Texas. Now during his 4 years as mayor, a new city hall was completed and updates were made to the fire station, including new fire engines. Now Judge Moore was also committed to preserving the history of Fort Bend County, and he was really instrumental in placing many historical markers all around the county that you can still see today. But the story doesn't end there. So John and Dorothea's youngest son, Helmer Moore, followed in the family's footsteps. So after serving as an officer in the United States Air Force during World War II, he returned home and he got involved in his family's ranching operation as well as politics. Helmer was elected mayor in 1948, and he served as mayor until his death in 2012. At the time of his passing, he was the longest serving mayor in U.S. history. And that's just a little bit about the Moore's legacy here in Fort Bend County. We hope you come and see us at the Fort Bend Museum.